Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Today I thought I would show you guys my favorite way to use a cast iron skillet and also my favorite way to make Amish breakfast casserole. So right now Charlotte is just with me for the intro, but here in just a second I'm going to go lay her down in her swing because I'm going to be cutting up a pepper and onion and dealing with some hot bacon on the frying pan. Okay, so I'm going to go... Excuse you. So I'm going to go ahead and lay her down, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and preheat my cast iron skillet and also preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So I'm just going to set this to like a medium low heat. Got that preheating now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just set the oven to 350 degrees. And now we'll get going on everything else. Okay, so when it comes to cutting onions, I am severely weak at it. I don't know what my issue is. I don't know if I'm just like hypersensitive to it. Even with like not being able to smell the greatest, my nose picked up onions. Like that was like one of the first things I could start smelling again. Which is, I guess, great. It's a savory thing and they smell great when they're cooking. But before, like when I had like absolutely like no sense of smell at all, it took a little bit for onions to actually start bothering me. But now I'm back to the way I was before, which I guess is a good thing. But that means I can't exactly stand here and chop an onion for too long. It's always been a thing. Like, I can never get through it. Even like as a kid, if I came downstairs, my mom was in the kitchen cutting up an onion, I couldn't stay in the room. Like, it bothered me too bad. So if you're like me and you just can't, you suffer from weepy onion syndrome or onion weakness, I don't know, onion sensitivity, I don't really know what you want to call it, if there's even a name for it. We don't need to label it. It is what it is. I like to use a manual food processor for a couple of reasons. One, I can just throw the onion in there and the smells don't come out as much at me and punch me in the face. The other reason too is my family doesn't like onions in their stuff. So I do this and it really, I mince them up pretty fine. So then I can still use onion in dishes to get the flavor, but my family doesn't notice the texture of onions. It's mostly just my husband and my daughter. I don't know if my son really cares one way or not. He hasn't expressed that yet. And I certainly don't care. I like onions, but yeah. So for my husband and my daughter, when I'm cooking stuff like casseroles or soups or just any dishes that you wouldn't really notice it in, it's fine. They don't notice it. They know I do it. They see me chop up an onion. They gotta know it's going into the dish and not just into thin air. I'm not really sure. So I never really discussed it with them because I'm sure if they, like my daughter, especially if she caught on, and then from now on if she saw me cutting an onion, she would be like, don't put that in our food. So it's our little secret. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start with this. I already kind of partially peeled this onion. My onions are starting to go bad a little bit. They've been in the pantry for a minute, so don't mind me if I cut away like bad pieces. Okay. I am kind of dumb when it comes to like peeling onions. I watch people just easily like peel the outer layer, and then I feel like I'm just sitting there working at it for like the longest time, and I don't know what's wrong with me. But it's whatever. Everyone has their own gifts and talents, okay? Mine is not cutting onions. So I do see like a little green sprout in here. I don't think it really matters if it's out, but I like to take it out. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this away before it starts bothering me. So this, it's like a little salsa thing, I guess. It's a manual food processor, okay? So it's what it is. It's called like a salsa maker, and I got it off Amazon because there was an influencer that told me to do it pretty much. Or, she was saying it was the best thing ever. So I took her word for it. And it's, what's going on here? I really like it. It also came with like a bunch of accessories and stuff, so it's not just a manual food processor, but there's so many other things you can do with it too. So I will leave it linked below if I can find it again. I'm sure I can. Wasn't like I got it that long ago. However, I will say one thing. I don't know if it's dishwasher safe. I put it in the dishwasher recently. It's never been an issue before for me to put it in the dishwasher, but then recently I put it in the dishwasher and this got warped. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like not a circle anymore. So this lid doesn't exactly fit the greatest, so it may look interesting me trying to get this lid on. But that's why the dishwasher got so hot, I think, that the way it was sitting in there, it like warped it forever. And so that was disappointing. And it also did it to our water reservoir for our coffee maker. That ticks me off because that's new. That's like, it's a wise one. Like, these are all things that are not easy to replace. Like, they're not cheap things to replace. Like, hopefully I can get a whole new reservoir for my coffee maker and not have to purchase a whole new coffee maker because that was expensive. And hopefully I can just replace this part if I talk to the company, maybe right into them, and not have to buy a whole brand new thing. But this wasn't as expensive as the coffee maker. So if I have to purchase a whole one of these, fine. But hopefully I don't have to. All right, this isn't. Give me one here. I hope to one day get like an electric food processor, and then maybe I wouldn't really need this as much. We'll see. Okay. The cool thing with this one is when the lid fits on there, right? Oh, there we go. You can actually twist it. I'm not gonna even try. But you can twist it to lock in place, so then, you know, you can tip it upside down and it's not gonna, all your contents aren't gonna just come out. I had a manual food processor before and the lid didn't lock. So you had to be really careful that you didn't get too crazy with it and lose your lid and then it go flying across the room or something. So it's kind of happened before. I'm not gonna mince these up too much because this dish is actually just for me, so I don't really care if I can taste them, if I can feel them or not in my food. Okay, so before I move any further, I'm gonna go ahead and get the bacon frying up. So I have here about 1 pound of chopped up bacon. And I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it into the frying pan here and just let it fry. Okay, and so while that's starting to fry, hopefully it's not too loud, but while that's frying, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on chopping up this pepper. I don't know how I went through life not knowing this, but when I used to cut a pepper, I used to cut it like this, and then like this, and then pull all the stem and the seeds out, and the seeds would go flying. And then I recently learned a better way, and I wish I knew this way sooner. So if you guys don't know this magical trick already, it's kind of been like a TikTok sensation, I think, and probably everyone knows about it now. But if you don't, cutting it like this. See? I don't know if you guys can kind of see how I'm doing that. I don't know how to describe that, but I'm just kind of cutting from the bottom down. Obviously, if you have a stem, pull it off. And I'm kind of avoiding, like, I'm curving around, like the vein, like the, what is that called? The white part there, like, is it the membrane or stem? I don't know. Vein. See? And now you have all these nice slices, and your pepper is still intact. So now I'm gonna go ahead and chop these and get them added to the skillet here in just a minute. So I'm just gonna kind of dice these up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this added now. Okay, so I have my skillet on a low heat right now, and the bacon is actually looking pretty close to done, so I gotta get this going. And now I'm gonna go get the onions. I think my son is awake. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and turn this off because this is really bad. No. Hey, it's hot here, okay? So hang on. That took like no time at all. So I'm just going to leave this turned off and let this kind of finish simmering on the stove here. I'm actually going to remove it from the heat too because it's really hot and really cooking fast. Hang on, buddy, I know. Okay, so I'm back now, and I had to put Charlotte on me because she woke up. So, but she can hang out with me now while I do the rest of this. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix up all the other ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and get the eggs, and we're going to whisk up or lightly beat 6 eggs. And we're trying to be really quiet because my son is just over there on the couch snoozing off again. So I'm gonna try to do this kind of quietly. So for the rest of this video, I decided I would just do a voiceover because I was not talking through any of these instructions just because I was trying to be so quiet and just let my son sleep. So I just whisked up the eggs, and then now I'm just adding 2 cups of cheddar cheese, and I use extra sharp cheddar, and then also a 1.5 cups of Swiss cheese. And now I'm adding anywhere between 3.5 to 4 cups of shredded hash browns. If you get frozen ones, just thaw them out, and then, or if you just buy the refrigerated ones, those ones are fine too. Mine were actually dehydrated beforehand, and I rehydrated them, but that's just what I use. And then here I'm adding a 1.5 cups of sour cream. Now this part, you could do cottage cheese, I guess, or even Greek yogurt, but I personally like sour cream. Cottage cheese honestly scares me. I don't like to go near it. And I have tried the Greek yogurt before, and it was fine, but sour cream is what I usually keep more on hand at home. So that's what I will use, just because I don't want to just go out and buy Greek yogurt just for one recipe. Sour cream can be used, you know, in so many other dishes. So that is why I choose sour cream, and I think it has a good flavor. Also, this measuring cup thing that I'm using is pretty neat. It's something that I got many years ago from Pampered Chef, and on one end you can measure things that are hard to get out of measuring cups, like solids and, you know, things like honey, molasses, sour cream, and on the other end is for liquids, and so it makes it a lot easier. And I'll just try to leave it linked below if I can. And then I love this recipe because after you put everything in the bowl, you just dump everything in the bowl and then you mix it up. And then I personally love making it in the cast iron skillet because after you cook the bacon, you don't have to get another pan out like the original recipe says and grease it. I just leave the bacon in the pan with the grease. If you need to drain it because your bacon was a little extra greasy, go ahead and drain it. I didn't feel it was necessary here, but I think it definitely adds even more flavor. So I love doing it this way in the cast iron skillet just because everything is in one pot and it's done, or one skillet and it's done. And now this is ready to be put into the oven that I had preheated at 350 degrees. And over it is. And ta-da, this is what it looks like when it is all done. So this night it was just me and the kids for dinner, so we decided to actually just keep it simple and do a breakfast dinner, and it was just perfect. They got to help with making pancakes, and then I had my casserole, and we actually did blueberry pancakes, so it was even better, I think. And so I just had some blueberry pancakes with my casserole, and then I also just made some sausages for the kids, and it was just perfect. Just a nice, easy dinner that Mom didn't have to work too hard at.
What is this? Seriously.
Mama, is it green or red?
And I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up as well, so that I know to make more videos like this. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.